The conception of a new world occurs in the womb of one's imagination. This statement is true only if one's imagination helps to remove the veils that give the illusion that makes one feel separate from the environment or God. Fortunately, one can learn to remove these veils. You will invoke a world you opt to see. You have the power in you, but not of you, to miraculously change the world. You alone will not create the miracle it takes to save the world by transforming yourself. But by connecting with universal forces, God, the forces of nature, the universal principles, for example, you will allow the miracle to occur. Connecting with universal forces, working to save the earth, and improving oneself requires a heroic journey guided by a fundamental truth. While engaging in a heroic journey of spiritual development or personal change, it is handy to be able to identify the main axiom, the primary postulate, or the arch assumption that following the course will put into action. This videotape series is about such a heroic journey, and it is based on such an axiom. I call the course of the heroic journey the Heartwood Path, and its grand guiding tenet, the Pierce Principle. The foundational statement for the Heartwood Path comes in two forms. Saving the earth requires perfecting the person, and its inverse corollary, perfecting the person requires saving the earth. Doubling as a credit line and in an acronym, the Pierce Principle contains all of the main aspects of the course described in this videotape. The P in the Pierce Principle stands for understanding of universal principles and the pondering of the origin and structure of integrity. The I in the Pierce Principle stands for the contention that saving the planet and perfecting the person requires both the process of individuation, which leads to becoming an individual, and the process of integration, which leads to the formation of a greater self that includes the planet. The E in the Pierce Principle stands for protecting the environment. The R in the Pierce Principle reminds us of the need to reconcile both self and other. The C in the Pierce Principle has multiple meanings. It stands for the development of care to spur one into action as an individual and for collaborating with others in ways that aid efforts to be compassionate towards all sentient beings, those capable of perceiving, without crashing. The E in the Pierce Principle stands for the need to persevere in these efforts through the enchantment one finds in everyday life. Enchantment defined as an opening of the mind to wonder, sacredness, and magic of existence. The personal and planetary transformations that occur along the Heartwood Path are miraculous, a miracle being defined as a shift in perception. The goal of traversing the Heartwood Path ought not to be achieving pre-given rules of perfection. The goal ought to be to become impeccably aware of one's own feelings, thoughts, actions, so that one can find harmony, be in a state of oneness with life, and use one's own individual gifts to serve others effectively and enduringly.